Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Murder Drones Hunger Games. In District 1, we have Uzi Dorman and Serial Designation N, aka Newsy, paired together for obvious reasons. District 2, Con Dorman and Doors, aka Cores, also paired together for obvious reasons. District 3, we have Rebecca and Darren, aka Dare Becca. These two were on the way to make out, and then they were horribly disfigured. They deserved better. Rest in peace. District 4, Frank and Tim, aka Tank. Now, this one may seem a little obscure, but think about it. Episode 2, the way Tim talks to Frank and the way they treat each other, definitely old married couple vibes. District 5, we have Doll and Serial Designation V, aka Doll V. These two are put together because they're both dead. District 6, we have Nori Dorman and Yeva, aka Neva. Paired together because they were both experimented on together, and they were definitely a thing before Khan came along, so, you know, debate me on that one, I dare you. District 7, we have Katie and Lord Frumplebucket, aka... I'm not even gonna try. Katie may seem annoyed by Frumplebucket's antics, but trust me, there's a part of her deep down that's really into it. District 8, Sam and Brayden, aka Satan. This one also seems a little obscure, but think about it, alright? The way Sam looked after Brayden stepped on him when they were getting off the bus, he's got some weird kinks, alright? Think about it. District 9, Sin and Tessa, aka Sinessa. I mean, you just gotta look at these two. I mean, it's like they were made for each other. District 10, we have Dr. Ridley and Mitchell, aka Midley. I don't know. I believe that Mitchell put on the wrong suit on purpose so that Ridley wouldn't recognize him, because she is madly in love with this man. I mean, he's just got that intern riz. Yeah, there's no holding her back. He's got to disguise himself somehow. District 11, we have Serial Designation J and Lizzie, aka Jizz. And finally, we have District 12, Ronathan and the School Bus, aka Ronabus. And I refuse to elaborate on that one. This is our cast. We're going to put them to the test. We're going to see who lives, who dies, who comes out on top. Maybe there will be new ships that come out of this. Maybe this will all be a huge mistake and the fandom will eat me alive. We'll find out. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Con Doorman runs away with a lighter and some rope. I wonder how he's going to make a door out of that. Serial Designation N snatches a pair of says. Katie runs away from the cornucopia. Frank grabs a backpack and retreats. Sin runs away from the cornucopia. Nori Dorman grabs a sword. Tessa runs away. Rebecca finds a bag full of explosives. That can only end well. Jay takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Brayden runs away from the cornucopia. That checks out. Doll pushes a school bus off a cliff. God damn, she's strong. Bro, what did the bus ever do to you? Chill. Doors run away from the cornucopia. You know what? I should have known this wouldn't make sense. Tim runs away. Darren runs away. Lord Frumplebucket takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. I feel like he's gonna die really early on. I don't know. He's look at this guy. He doesn't strike me as a survivor. Sam grabs a sword. That's concerning. He's almost certainly high at the moment. He might hurt himself. Somebody should keep an eye on him. Uzi runs away. Ronathan runs away. Lizzie falls into a pit and dies. Well, that didn't last long. V grabs a shovel. Uh-oh. It's getting serious. Mitchell runs away. Yeva finds a bag full of explosives. Ridley gathers as much food as she can. Alright, day 1. Doll receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Sam searches for firewood. Got to be able to roast those batteries somehow. Darren scares away Con. Katie injures herself. Oh, probably been looking at her phone, wasn't watching where she was going. Tripped on something. Brayden chases N. I'm sure N enjoyed it. N seems like he would enjoy a good chase. Rebecca camouflages herself in the bushes. Doors receive a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Still not making sense, but we're going with it. Lord Frontalbucket discovers a river. I'm sure he yelled crikey at it a couple times. V receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Jay, Ridley, and Frank unsuccessfully ambush Tim, Mitchell, and Sin, who kill them instead. I mean, you think you're going to be able to ambush Sin? That was a mistake from the very beginning. There was no universe where they won that fight. But Tim killed Frank. No! The old married lovers. And Mitchell killed Ridley. What do you mean? What are these betrayals? What? What? Yeva throws a knife into Uzi's chest. That checks out. Nori constructs a shack. Good for her. Ronathan and Tessa are teaming up to look for resources. That's an unexpected pairing. You know, she probably likes his little mustache and hat, actually. That makes sense. 6 shots can be heard in the distance. Rest in peace, school bus, Lizzie, Jay. Oh, Jay died early on. What a surprise. Ridley, Frank, and Uzi. Uzi died. What? Brayden bashes Khan's head in with a mace. Oh my goodness, Brayden. What the hell's going on here? Sam accidentally steps on a landmine. That honestly checks out. He's probably high as fuck right now. Nori, Darren, Frontalbucket, V, and Sin all sleep in shifts. That is the least expected group in this entire... I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so lost. I'm curious to know how Nori and Sin are getting along. I feel like there's a degree of mistrust going on in that group. Mitchell receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Ann and Katie huddle for warmth. Aww. Tessa and Doll tell stories about themselves to each other. Doors attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Probably for the best. Doors might burn itself. It is made of wood. Rebecca and Ronathan sleep in shifts. Yeva accidentally steps on a landmine. That's embarrassing. Tim goes to sleep. Probably dreaming about his husband. Day 2. Tim questions his sanity. I would too. Lord Frontalbucket stabs Doors while his back is turned. Doors! No! You were so young. Ronathan severely injures Brayden and leaves him to die. Tessa attacks N, but he manages to escape. Tessa, why? The betrayal. V runs away from Katie. Mitchell hunts for other tributes. Oh, Mitchell's got blood. Blood in his eyes. He's ready. He's ready. All those years being an intern are finally going to pay off. Doll receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Makes sense. Rebecca searches for a water source. Nori thinks about home. Darren receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Sin makes a wooden spear. Terrifying. Anything in this girl's hands, I fear. We've had 5 more deaths. Khan, rest in peace. Sam, rest in peace. Yeva, rest in peace. Doors, rest in peace. Brayden, rest in peace. Night 2. Rebecca quietly hums. Tim receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Tessa receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Sin receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. That's concerning. Mitchell cries himself to sleep. Sam Mitchell. Sam. N and Ronathan track down and kill Doll. What? I didn't think N had it in him. I didn't think Ronathan had it in him. What is going on? Darren receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Lord Frontalbucket accidentally steps on a landmine. V, Nori, and Katie discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Day 3, N steals from Rebecca while she isn't looking. N! I thought you were the good boy. Bad N. Stop it. Sin tries to sleep through the entire day. Alright, Sin is a cat, confirmed. Ronathan and Tim hunt for other tributes. V injures herself. Come on, V. Wear your glasses and you won't injure yourself so much. Darren scares Mitchell off. Well, I thought Mitchell had a change of badassery, but I guess not. Tessa falls into a pit and dies. What? Katie chases Nori. Alright, we've had 3 more deaths. Doll, Mr. Frumpled Bucket, and Tessa. Update on who is alive and who is not. We still have N, Rebecca, and Darren. Tim, V, Nori, Katie, the last remaining human. Never mind, Mitchell's still alive too. Katie and Mitchell still alive, so we got 2 humans still. Sin and Ronathan. Mitchell tries to treat his infection. He got an infection somehow. Interesting. Darren and N sleep in shifts. This is the N's getting along with somebody. Nori cooks her food before putting her fire out. Tim sees a fire. Oh, but he stays hidden. He sees Nori's fire. Ooh. Ooh. A fight, maybe? V begs for Ronathan to kill her. He refuses, keeping V alive. V, why? Why do you want to die, V? V, what's wrong? Tell me, V. V, please. Why are you always trying to sacrifice yourself, V? God damn it! Sin goes to sleep. Katie cries herself to sleep. Rebecca receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Day 4. Rebecca and Tim work together for the day. V tries to sleep through the entire day. Darren constructs a shack. Oh, look at him go. N injures himself. That's Dan. That makes sense. Yeah. Katie and Nori hunt for other tributes. Sin poisons Ronathan's drink. He drinks it and dies. That's a very Sin thing to do, to be honest. Mitchell dies from hypothermia. Well, he is an intern, so that makes sense. Rest in peace, Ronathan and Mitchell. Nori, Katie, N, and Darren are all hanging out. They're telling ghost stories to lighten the mood. Like that warranty that wasn't expired because it never existed. Sin tends to Rebecca's wounds. Aw, look at Sin. See, Sin is harmless. She would never hurt a soul. Tim is awoken by nightmares. Probably the nightmares of him murdering his husband. V questions her sanity. So far, that has made the most sense out of all of these events. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Sin decides not to go to the feast, which is very out of character of her because we know that she normally loves to socialize at large gatherings. N severely slices Katie with a sword. Oh my. Nori and V decide to work together to get more supplies. A crossover we didn't know we needed. Rebecca kills Darren with a hatchet. The betrayal! Tim decides not to go to the feast. Nori, V, and Tim hunt for other tributes. N overhears Rebecca and Sin talking in the distance. Ooh, the women are scheming. The last human, Katie, has died. Rest in peace. And so is Darren, killed by his lover. Maybe that's the twist that would have happened if they weren't interrupted by Uzi in episode 4. Night 5. Rebecca, N, and Tim sleep in shifts. Sin tends to Nori's wounds. V quietly hums. Day 6. Sin runs away from Destination N. She probably thinks it's a game. He probably thinks it's a game. Oh, they're so pure and wholesome, those two. Nori begs for death from Serial Designation V. V refuses, keeping Nori alive. Tim camouflages himself in the bushes. Rebecca constructs a shack. Night 6. Rebecca cries herself to sleep. Sin lets Tim into her shelter. No, Tim! Tim, no! Tim! No! V sees a fire but stays hidden and goes to sleep. Nori cries herself to sleep. A lot of crying, I've noticed. I think all these people need hugs. Sin searches for firewood. Nori and V track down and kill Tim. Tim, no! Rebecca throws a knife into N's chest and no! I'm in tears right now. Rebecca thinks about home. Fucking bitch. Nori convinces Sin to snuggle with her. I'm just gonna let that one simmer for a minute. V tries to treat her infection. Rebecca collects fruit from a tree. Sin discovers a river. Nori attacks V, but she manages to escape. Good job, V. Sin overpowers V, killing her. No! Nori attempts to climb a tree, but falls to her death. Oh, my goodness. Nori, why? Rebecca unknowingly eats toxic berries. I mean, she deserved it. That's karma. And the winner is Sin from District 9. Should have known, honestly. Should have putting her in the roster was a mistake from the beginning. And here are the final placements. Sin being the winner with 5 kills, absolutely ruthless. Rebecca 2 kills. Our innocent N why? Why, Rebecca? Why? N with 2 kills. Tim with 3 kills. That's actually kind of surprising from Tim, I won't lie to you. Mitchell the intern also got 3 kills. Good for him. Good for him. Jay died pretty early on, which was pretty in character of her. And rest in peace, the school bus, 24th place. Shouldn't have been a bus, idiot. And that was the Murder Drones Hunger Games. I look forward to all the yelling from the crack ships that I made out of this.